we go. And I'm going to share my screen.
Okay.
Can everyone see the slideshow?
Yes, I can see it, Ben. Can everyone else see it?
Yes.
Awesome. Well, we'll say good morning and welcome to our TANF webinar series. My name is Teray Donaldson. I am program manager with our Welfare Transition and SNAP program at Career Source Escarosa here in Region 1. And thank you all for taking time out of your day to join in with us for this webinar. We're always excited to see representation from across our regions and connect with all of our partners. So very happy to see my fellow program managers and supervisors on this morning, and those that have attended from your staff. I even have some of my team here, so very excited to see everyone in one platform this morning. Before we get going, I'd like to also tell you a little bit about our TANF SME group. I am chair lady for the TANF SME group. Our co-chair is Rachel Paymer. Rachel is in Region 20. She's program manager with Welfare Transition and SNAP there. I'm not sure if Rachel has been able to join in this morning. I believe she may have had a scheduling conflict, so she may join us a little bit later. But I did want to acknowledge her. Just an absolute pleasure to have on the team and to work with. So we wanted to acknowledge Rachel in her absence. We also have several that attend our regularly scheduled TANF SME group meetings. So I'd like to acknowledge you quickly. So I'm just going to look over at our attendance list this morning. Got to start out by acknowledging Ben Vanderneck from Region 18. Ben handles our tech support. He's our consultant for all things tech in this group. So Ben, if you could unmute, share a quick greeting with us.
Thanks, Teray. Yeah, great to be here, everybody. Thank you for being here with us.
Yes, so that's Ben. I want to acknowledge the other program managers and supervisors that I see that are on this morning. It looks like I saw Kathleen Danclair on. I'm not sure if she's still here. Kathleen, are you still with us?
I'm still with you guys. Yes.
Hey, good morning. Please tell us what you do, your region, share a quick greeting.
Good morning, everyone. Glad to see everyone participating and joining us. It's good to see new faces and familiar faces. I'm with Region 11. I am the Career Services Advocate Manager for the TANF and the SNAP program.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much. We also have, let's see, who else do we have on from our regular group? Looks like we have Altamise Gay Carter. Altamise, you want to unmute and share a greeting with us?
Good morning. My name is Altamise Gay Carter. I am with Region 22. I'm a WTP.
Okay, she's with Region 22. All right, we have Carlos Watford on. Carlos, would you like to unmute and share a greeting?
Good morning. Good morning. I'm Carlos Watford. I work with Region 4. I'm the WT SNAP supervisor.
Thank you. Good morning, Carlos. I see we've got, I believe Christina Witt is on with us. Christina, if you can hear me, please unmute.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Christina Witt. I'm the Organizational Support Services Director and Career Source Suncoast.
All right. And let's see, I'm taking a look here through the names to see if we had any of our other program managers on with us, but I'll stop there. Did I miss anyone, any other program managers before I introduce our presenter for the day?
This is Julie Ramirez, Program Coordinator, Region 4, Panama City.
Hi, Julie. Oh, we're glad you made it, Julie. Glad you're on. I didn't see your name on here, but hey, I'm glad you're here. Awesome, awesome. Anyone else that I missed? Program manager, supervisor?
Good morning. This is Myra Nunez, Program Manager for the Welfare and SNAP program for Region 12.
Good morning, Myra. All right. Anyone?
Good morning. This is Leah from Region 9. We've got our whole team on board today.
Awesome, awesome. So glad to have all of you. All right. I see that we've got Barbara Short. Barbara, please introduce yourself. Share a greeting.
All right, Barbara Short, Program Manager in Region 24, Welfare Transition, SNAP. Wagner Pizer, MSFW, and I do share special projects with my peer program manager who does
Yes.
all the WIOA things.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. And I see
Kinda
we got
busy.
Tammy Pumphrey. Tammy, you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Good morning. Glad to see everyone here. I'm a success coach for welfare and transition and SNAP in Region 3.
Awesome. Any others? I believe I saw Teresa Chester on as well. Teresa, would you like to share a greeting? All right. Hey, just wanted to give some space this morning for our TANF SME group to introduce themselves, share a quick greeting. We really don't have many opportunities to do so. So definitely wanted to acknowledge the group that I work with. We have representation from most of the 24 regions for our regularly scheduled meetings. Just an amazing group to work with. We collaborate on ideas and best practices to improve service delivery for WT and SNAP in our regions. And we collaborate on bringing trainings just like this one to our regions. We want to address some of our internal training needs. It's actually been a little while since we brought a training to you. I believe the last one was following the summit. We did a recording of the presentation that we did for the Workforce Summit. And of course, we've had some challenges due to the pandemic, but we all are sharing in those challenges together. And so many of us have done hiring and onboarding, and we're addressing the training needs of our individual staffs in our respective regions. So this is a great segue for us to bring this training to you today. So before we get into it, I'd like to acknowledge our COO group. It wouldn't be possible for us to be here were it not for our COO group. So we always acknowledge Josh Matlock, COO in Region 18, for bringing this group together in August 2020. We also acknowledge Christine Sikora of Region 11, Tracy McMorris of Region 20, and I'd be remiss if I didn't shout out my own COO, Bill Barron, right here in Region 1. So we are thankful for our COOs across the region who keep the program managers and supervisors in WT and SNAP connected, as well as our CEOs who make our mission here in WT and SNAP a priority. So we're going to get right into acknowledging and introducing our presenter for today. We are super excited that Jamie Connolly has stepped up and agreed to do this training for us today. Jamie is from Region 22 in Broward, and she is going to present to us core and core plus activities for welfare transition. And so, Jamie, we'd like to turn it over to you, and we just say thank you, everyone, for joining in with us. We hope that you get something out of today's presentation that maybe you didn't know. And then you can also share this later with anyone that you're onboarding, and even for your existing staff for a refresher. So thank you so much, Jamie, and we'll turn it over to you.
Thank you, Teray, and thank you again, everyone, for attending. Again, my name is Jamie Conley. I'm a program manager for the SNAP program, as well as the Welfare Transition Program here in Fort Lauderdale. If anyone has a question while I'm presenting, you just put it in the chat, and then we'll review the questions afterwards. I also put in the YouTube link. As Teray had mentioned, we do record these and post them on YouTube, so that link is in the chat as well. And we'll go ahead and get started. Okay, just a little background, tying in activities to our performance. So how are activities tied in? The WTP performance for all family and two-parent participation is measured based on properly assigned work activities as well as customer engagement. Our numerator is the total number of families meeting their assigned hours. Our denominator is the total number of families receiving cash assistance with a work-eligible individual. The current target for the all family performance is 39% of cases meeting the designated hours. The two-parent performance target is 90%. And this information, we do have a monthly management report on DEO's website where you can get all the performance data. And we'll learn more about the WTP performance measures in another webinar series. So participation hours, how do we get that targeted hours that the state requires for us to have a positive performance measure or outcome? In order for cases to be calculated in the numerator, it must meet certain requirements depending on the household. The chart outlines the hours needed for each family type. For example, a 2-parent family that receives childcare will require both parents' participation. Their goal for the month and their core hours is 217 hours with a total hours of 238. Let's do a quick review of the core activities in WTP. Core activities are primary hours that are counted towards participation requirements that can be used as standalone activities. We have employment, job search, job readiness, also known as job club, community service, work experience, and vocational training. Core Plus activities are secondary hours to assist in meeting participation. They are not standalone activities unless they are a teen parent without a high school diploma or GED. For example, an 18-year-old mom is referred to the Welfare Transition Program as a teen parent. Her last year completed in high school was the 11th grade. She is motivated to obtain her GED so she can expand her job search to employers who require this as a minimum education requirement. This parent can spend all her hours in the program studying and practicing for the GED exam. All right, let's take a moment and explore core activities in more detail. So our first activity is one of the most important, in my opinion. It's the goal of our program is employment, right? This can be a standalone activity as long as the customer is meeting minimal assigned hours. If employment hours are part-time, staff would apply another activity in order to assist in meeting the targeted hours. Hours entered in the state tracking system for the employed participant is the actual hours worked. These hours are located on supporting documents such as pay stubs. There are various types of employment, such as unsubsidized, subsidized private, and subsidized public. An example of subsidized employment in the public sector is paid college work study. An example of subsidized private is a paid internship with an employer. And we have some best practices for employment activity. In order to keep findings low, staff should review in detail the data entered from the VOE, which is the verification of employment, and the data that's being entered into the state tracking system. We want to make sure that that information is being relayed over to the system exactly as it is on the employment verification form. Simple errors such as a typo in the date field can cause issues with external monitorings. Another best practice related to employment has to do with JPRs. Employment is the only activity where staff can project hours from pay stubs or timesheets for hours not yet worked. So it's a projection of hours. There should be no indication that the customer is going to stop working during the period in which staff are projecting the hours for. And before projecting hours, staff should ensure that employment has been documented and verified. A full pay cycle is received. And in case anyone is wondering what a full pay cycle is, it's one in which an individual is paid for a full pay period duration of work. So for example, an individual paid bi-weekly would have to work 2 full weeks, and the pay stub or pay documentation would have to reflect the number of hours worked for that 2-week duration. Okay, and then of course, case notes are very important, giving the details as to why we projected, for which job we projected for, the pay period that we projected, and the hours. Detailed case notes. And we have an example for projecting hours. Meet Boyd. Boyd's been employed for 5 weeks and has received 2 pay stubs. Oftentimes, many pay stubs may not reflect exact number of hours. There may be a decimal. So we have an example here of a customer who worked for a 2-week pay period, 91 hours. So if you take 91 hours for that 2-week pay period, you divide by 2, you're going to get a weekly average of 45.5 hours. But we can't enter decimals. So the recommendation is that for the first week, staff would enter 46 hours and the second week, 45 hours. So how do we project in this situation when there's a decimal? Depending on how the hours are entered in the JPR screen, you would project the number of hours for the most recent week. So in the example provided, we would use the 45 to project going forward. Okay, job search is another core activity in WTP. Regions may offer information and build skills during formal planned workshops and classes through less structured, individualized activities. This may include the following activities directly related to preparing for finding employment: orientation to the world, budgeting, life skills, interpersonal skills, decision-making, job retention skills, instructions on completing an application, and resume development, just to name a few. All right. Substance abuse, mental health services may be considered as part of job search and job readiness activity. The individual must be determined to be in need of substance abuse treatment by a mental health professional. Treatment may include inpatient, outpatient classes, workshops, group therapy, individual therapy, and detoxification. It's important for case managers to also know the time limits of job club. Each case should be reviewed for previous job club enrollment to make sure that the case does not go over any allowed time limits. A customer can complete up to 6 weeks of job search with no more than 4 consecutive weeks in a 12-month period. For example, customers whose youngest child is 5 years old or younger, they can complete no more than 240 hours in that 12-month period. Let's take a moment to review how to calculate a 12-month rolling period for job club. A rolling 12 months will consist of the month we are currently in and going back the previous 12 months. In this example, we are using calendar years for 2021 and 2022. Using the month of February 2022, we will go back 12 months in time to determine if a participant assigned to and completed job search hours during that time. For example, if a participant was assigned to job search in January 2021, the hours the participant completed in January will not be included in this 12-month cycle. However, if a participant completed job search hours in June 2021, those hours will be calculated in the hourly and weekly threshold for the rolling 12 months. Hours completed in June 2021 will be disregarded when we roll into July of 2022. That's when those hours would roll off. So what counts as job search and job readiness? Attending workshops to build job seeking skills, applying for jobs, attending therapy while job searching, and submitting resumes. And what does not count as job search? Looking for childcare or housing, attending treatment full-time, and other non-work activities. And we have some best practices for job search, job readiness. Due to strict time limits for this activity, it's crucial that barriers should be resolved by the customer and or staff prior to starting this activity. This way the job seeker can focus fully on job search instead of worrying about housing or childcare. For example, having additional support from other departments will maximize the time and effort spent seeking employment. This will also help increase the odds of the customer gaining employment prior to job club ending or job search ending. WTP community service programs serve as useful community purpose in fields such as health, social service, environmental protection, and education. Community service programs are most appropriate for a participant who needs to increase employability by improving his or her interpersonal skills and job retention skills. Similar to community service, work experience is a structured and supervised work to help the participant join the workforce. Work experience must provide an individual with the opportunity to gain general employability skills, job knowledge, and work habits necessary to retain employment. Work experience may be for-profit or non-for-profit. And if a participant's community service hours are less than the 87 hours of core requirements, the participant can still be in compliance as long as they meet the community service calculated hours, which is also known as deeming. So let's take a little look at deeming and a deeming example. Meet Jane. Jane is a single parent with a 15-year-old son. She is being considered for the community service activity. Her monthly benefit calculation equals 63 hours, which is below the 87 core requirements. Jane is assigned to 63 hours for the month in community service. She's also assigned job skills training for 67 hours to meet the total 130-hour requirement. Once Jane reaches the 63 hours in her core and 130 total hours, she will automatically be deemed to the 87-hour requirement where no additional action is needed by staff. And we have an example of a monthly benefit calculation for community service or work experience. Staff determines the maximum number of hours a participant may be scheduled in this activity for the month by adding the total amount of temporary cash assistance and food stamp benefits and dividing by the current state minimum wage. The hours can be captured using time logs maintained by the participant and signed by the supervisor. For community service programs, they require daily supervision. So in this particular example, we have a customer that receives a total amount of $1,049 per month in benefits. Divide that by our current minimum wage of $10 and you get the monthly assignment of 105 hours. And this is an example of a case that has community service activity open and ready for tracking participation hours. This is actually from Employ Florida under the Activities tab. It will allow you to create the activity assignment in which you can then start entering participation hours for. The last core activity we are reviewing is vocational training. This activity is education and training that prepares the individual for employment in current emerging occupation through organized and state-approved trainings in Florida's vocational technical area centers, community colleges offering certificate, AAAS degrees, and other advanced degree programs. Florida does not allow standalone basic skills or English language proficiency classes to be offered as vocational education. This is a time-limited activity where the participant cannot exceed 365 days in a lifetime. When assessing if vocational training is a good fit for the participant, case managers should review the prior activity history to ensure that the activity does not exceed the time limits. Documentation is the key with vocational training, such as providing proof of enrollment, provide a class schedule, course documents, course requirements, study requirements when applicable, and other pertinent documentation as required. Okay, so we have an example here of someone who is wanting to be considered for vocational training. Can the below example be considered? Based on this example, would staff consider Karen? She is interested in the medical assisting program. It is a certification program that is less than a year in duration. If Karen has not been in vocational training in a while or at any time while in WTP, would this be a good fit for her? Yes or no? I do believe we think that this would be a good fit for her. All right. All right, so let's review calculating vocational training from a schedule. So customer provides the below class schedule, Monday, Wednesday from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. for math. English is Tuesday and Thursday from 10 to 11:30. According to the schedule, the customer is supposed to attend 5 hours per week of in-class. Now let's discuss study time in greater detail. There are two types of study allowances, supervised time and unsupervised. Supervised study time is where the student gets credit for study time that has been taken place in a supervised setting as required by the education institution, school, professor, or instructor. Hours in supervised study time must be documented and signed by the person responsible for providing the supervision. Unsupervised study time is where the student studies independently without any type of supervision. They may be given credit up to 1 hour of unsupervised study time for every hour spent in class. And of course, a statement of required study time is to be received prior to accepting those hours. All right, we have some best practices for vocational training. And this is to help track not only time limits, but prepare the person for their next career. So as far as managing the time limits, staff can set alerts in the system to remind them when the graduation is approaching. This helps staff prepare for the next activity, such as job search, job readiness. Having ongoing assessments with the customer regarding their progress in school will help assist staff in monitoring time limits, attendance, and next steps. Excel is another great tool that success coaches can use in order to track time limits. For example, if a customer is approaching the 365 days, the customer's name would then turn red when their 30 days of graduation is approaching. Just some additional tools there to help staff. So let's take a moment and explore Core Plus activities. As a reminder, Core Plus is not a standalone activity for most adults. Customers referred to the Welfare Transition Program as teen parents that do not have a high school diploma or GED can use a Core Plus as their main activity as long as they're working towards their high school diploma or GED. So the first Core Plus activity that we will review is job skills training. This is training required by the workforce and in most cases is assigned with a core activity. This activity may include literacy and language instruction. All right, education activity. Education directly related to employment is an education activity for work eligible parents, regardless of age, who have not received a high school diploma or GED. And in this case, customers should have a specific occupation or job offer. GED is another Core Plus activity. This activity is for customers seeking basic education credential equivalent to a high school diploma. Statistics show that 1 out of every 3 adults on welfare do not have a high school diploma or GED. We have some best practices for GED. Since adults do not have the same privileges as teens when it comes to attending GED classes full time, so what can we do to assist a customer in that situation who wants to get their GED? Some tactics that we kind of explore are part-time employment coupled with GED, community service, possible dual enrollment, doing GED studying alongside a trade. And then, of course, we offer tools to assist with studying for the exam. One of the tools that we use here in Broward is Workforce Skills 21st Century. I believe other regions may use Aztec, which is another great tool. All right, so now we can go to our chat box and see if we have any questions.
Jamie, I don't believe we've had anyone to post any questions, but if you do have any, feel free to come back to this area, and we do meet on a regular basis. So if you do have questions, Jamie and our team could respond back to you. So feel free to post those. All right. Well, Jamie, did you have anything that you'd like to add to wrap up?
No, not if there's any questions.
Okay.
Thank you, everyone.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, so we got Glenda Branch. Glenda Branch says, please explain deeming again. So did you just maybe want to add a little bit or recap that slide quickly, Jamie? Okay, Jamie, can you still hear us? Okay, I think you're on mute.
Yes, I was. I'm trying to see what slide it was,
Gotcha.
so Ben can go
Okay.
straight to that one.
Hey, Ben, can you help us with that? Hey, I think Ben's going to help you out with that one, Jamie.
Okay.
And while he's pulling that up and you're getting that, just want to remind everyone that the training or the recording will be available to you. So Ben, our tech consultant, he'll make sure that that gets posted. We do have a YouTube channel now, so he'll ensure that that gets posted as well. So if I know we had one person that had some audio issues on their end, maybe if you joined in a little bit later, please know that we will get the entire training posted. So you'll be able to view it at a later date.
Okay, so let's go over deeming again really quick. In the example that I used, this is a single mother. Her child is over 15. So her benefit calculation says that she cannot be assigned more than 63 hours per month. So 63 is less than the 87 core requirement. But once she meets those 63 hours, there's no additional action needed by staff. We don't go over, we don't try to hit the 87. We leave it at the 63 based on that calculation. And once the state will deem up the hours up to 87 from 63. So I hope I explained that a little better.
All right, awesome. Thank you for recapping that, Jamie. I'm actually going to probably follow up on that here in my region. So thank you so much for sharing that info with us today. Well, any other questions? I'm surfing through the chat. It doesn't look like we do have any, but again, if you think of something maybe a little bit later and you want to follow up on it, or maybe you're able to go view the entire presentation later. Again, if you do have any questions, feel free to come back here to this chat and you can post it. We'll see it. Or you could reach out to your program manager or supervisor and they can share it with our TANF SME group. We meet regularly, so we'll definitely get back to you on any questions that you have. If there are no more, I would just like to say a huge thank you to our presenter today, Jamie Connolly, our fellow program manager in Region 22. Didn't she do a fantastic job? I mean, let's go find the virtual applause. Look on your toolbar. It's your third option in. Give her some hearts. Give her some applause. Hey, let's blast her over in the chat. Fantastic job, Jamie. She covered the bases. I don't think she left a stone unturned on core and core plus activities. I think I'm ready to go sit in on an appointment and get someone assigned to something. Fantastic job, Jamie. So we thank her on the TANF SME group. She's just a great addition to our team of program managers. And I hope that all of you that are in attendance today got something out of the presentation. Again, it's a great tool to use maybe for those who may be newer to your team. And it's even a good refresher for some of your existing people. So I want to say thank you to those on my team that are here from Region 1. I see several of them were able to maybe join in between appointments and everything. So thank you guys. So good to see my team here. I also want to make a quick correction. Christina Witt informed me that Josh Matlock has been promoted to CEO. So, you know, I mentioned at the top of our webinar, we always acknowledge Josh. He was one of the COOs that organized this group of TANF SMEs and program managers. So we always shout him out in our presentations for bringing us together. We haven't chatted with him in a few weeks, but it's my understanding from Christina, he was just promoted at the beginning of February to CEO there, I believe, in Region 18. So shout out to Josh Matlock and congratulations to him. Also want to do a quick acknowledgement of our other TANF SME faithful members that have joined in. I think some of them joined in since we got started earlier. So want to just give them some space to give a greeting. I see that we had Javetta Florida join in. So Javetta, if you could just unmute, tell us what you do and which region you're with, share a quick greeting.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Javetta. I am with Region 8. I am the Regional Program Director for Welfare Transition and SNAP programs.
Awesome. Javetta, stay unmuted. Tell us quickly about your upcoming training that you'll be doing for the group. Just a quick plug.
I will be doing a training on the MMR and participation. So if you're interested in the MMR and how that affects our participation, that's what I'll be doing.
Yes. Well, Javetta, I'm so happy that you were able to join in with us. If you have not heard Javetta present before, this is a treat. You don't want to miss it. So stay tuned. We'll put the date out. She was a co-presenter with me for our Workforce Summit in Orlando. She was there in person. I appeared virtually along with Marvetta and Kathleen and Ben. So yeah, if you haven't caught her before, you definitely want to stay tuned for that one. So Javetta, we're looking forward to your presentation. Just quickly, I see that Leah Chapman joined in. Leah, if you could, please unmute, tell us your region, what you do, quick greeting.
Good morning. I do welfare transition and SNAP lead. And it's Region 9.
Awesome.
And we're cold here today.
Yes, yes, yes. I think we're sharing in with you. I got all of my cold weather gear out this morning. So yes, well, thank you so much, Leah. I saw that you joined in. Definitely wanted to acknowledge you. And quickly, Marvetta Gordon. Marvetta's another one of our faithful members on the TANF SME group, joining in with us for the regular meetings. I saw that Marvetta joined in. So Marvetta, you want to unmute and share a quick greeting and tell us which region and what you do?
Hello, I am Region 13, and I am the program manager for SNAP employment and training and welfare transition programs. And really what that means is we provide amazing unconditional support to our staff and awesome guidance.
Okay, awesome. I see someone sharing their screen. I think it's Jay Taylor, Juliet Taylor. Please unshare the button next to your red leave button. Please unshare your calendar. We can see your calendar. There we go. Thank you, Juliet. All right. And are there any other program managers or supervisors on the TANF SME group that we missed? Please unmute. Let us know. Jump in quickly. Okay. If not, I see Christina sent me a chat that we had a few hands that were up. So let's take a look and see if there are any final questions before we leave. We have Tiffany Johnson, Donna Bruins, and Colette. So I'm just going to go in that order. So Tiffany, could you please unmute? Did you have a question or a comment?
I didn't. I was actually trying to do a high five for Jamie.
Oh, okay.
So sorry about that.
That is fine. Hey, we like to hear that good feedback. Hey, that was a great addition as we wrap up. So, hey, Jamie, you got a high five all the way from Tiffany Johnson. Which region, Tiffany?
Region 22. She's my program.
Okay. All right. Hey, it's always good to have the support of your team. So thank you, Tiffany. Glad you're on with us. I see that we had Donna Bruins. Donna, did you intend to have your hand up? Please.
No, I was doing the high five also.
Okay, hey, sounds good. We'll take it all in this morning.
Okay.
Well, our time here has been well spent today. It has been a very, very awesome webinar. We were happy to see your interaction over in the chat, introducing yourselves and telling us a little bit about what you do. We like to see which regions are represented on with us. Again, on the TANF SME team, we have representation from most of our regions. Most of the program managers and supervisors are on for the regular meetings and collaborating. And we like to see as well when your teams show up. So thank you to all who took time out of your schedule today to join in with us. Before we leave, we'd like to do a quick plug for another upcoming training. Javetta already told you about hers, the engagement reports and MMR that's coming soon. We'll be able to coordinate a date with her. But we also have another one that'll be coming soon from Rachel Paymer, Kathleen, Dan Clare, and I believe DeWanda Joyner is going to assist them with that. So Kathleen, could you please unmute and do a quick plug for that one?
Good morning, everyone. We are going to, on the 23rd of February, we're going to do a presentation on the Florida system, the alerts, and how to address them when they come over to OSST and make case notes from there. So looking forward to seeing you all join us at that time on the 23rd of February.
Yes. Okay. Thank you so much, Kathleen. DeWanda, is there anything you'd like to add?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Hey, DeWanda is another one of our faithful TANF SME people that she joins in with us every week or every other week when we meet. And DeWanda's so quiet, but she brings such a wealth of knowledge to the team. DeWanda's got experience in workforce and from DCF as well. So we are looking forward to a phenomenal presentation when it comes to the alerts in the Florida system, because DeWanda's consulting and adding material to this presentation with Kathleen and Rachel. And she's got some insider knowledge to share. So she is definitely going to ensure that this is an awesome presentation along with Kathleen. So you don't want to miss that one either. And that's going to be Wednesday, February 23rd, right here, same time, 9 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Eastern. So we hope to see you all back, but I'm going to challenge you. Please bring someone else with you. So program managers, hey, let's identify maybe someone else that we can add in, whether it's a new team member, an existing team member. Maybe we could reach out to some other WT or SNAP partners who are not on. I'm going to challenge each one of you to invite someone to join you on the 23rd. I believe at my last check, we had about 53 or so people that were on at one point. So that was a great crowd today. Again, the recordings will be made available. So Ben, as we wrap up, would you like to tell them when you'll have that posted or how you'll go about doing that?
Yeah, we'll have it posted. Let me stop sharing my screen. We'll have it posted here hopefully within the next week, and we will respond out. We will put the YouTube channel in the chat again.
Awesome, awesome. Well, thank you again, everyone. I mean, I can't say thank you enough. I always try to make sure I acknowledge my fellow program managers and supervisors. Again, we have such an amazing team with the TANF SME group. So we don't often get to acknowledge your investment of time and effort and all of the knowledge and experience you bring to the team. So when we do these trainings, I definitely want to acknowledge you and thank you openly for all that you do for our team and for your respective regions. Hey, we're keeping Florida moving, believe it or not. So thank you all for the work that you do, for all of your teams, everybody that's here. I want to personally share a heart with you. On behalf of our entire team, we thank you for all that you're doing for Workforce. So we'll wrap it up for today. Thank you again for being here with us, and we look forward to seeing you right back here, this platform, Wednesday the 23rd. We'll be covering alerts and the DCF Florida system, and you don't want to miss it. So see you then. Hope you have a great rest of your day and a great rest of your week.
Thank you.